Alright guys, today we're going to be doing a topic, a discussion style video, not necessarily a haul or anything like that, but just a good comic book discussion. But let me start by saying I don't have Jessica here with me. She's the brains behind the operation. She makes sure the camera angles and the lighting and all that is good. I don't have her, so this is really the best I can do, so forgive me if it does not look the best. Secondly, I'm thinking about doing more videos like this where I'm behind the camera, maybe even in front of the camera, but today I'm going to be behind the camera. And I was thinking, in those style videos where it's just me, I don't have Jessica or Justin, what if I started each video by discussing a small YouTube channel, like a shout out almost in a way, because the comic book community, unlike any other community that I've been a part of YouTube, is very closely knit. We like to advertise each other, we like to shout out each other, and that's one of my favorite aspects about the comic book community here on YouTube. So I just started watching a new YouTube channel. I don't want to say new to me, but I just started watching a YouTube channel called Happy Dad C.C. I'll try to leave a link down in the description. Just started watching his videos as of right now. He's sub 200. He has about 180 something subscribers. Namely, I watched his top 5 CGC books of 2020. Let me just say that his top 5 were pretty darn killer. If you see the video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And then he did a draft with 2 of his friends for comic books. They bought a massive collection and then drafted it. And I would love to do something like that with Jessica and Justin. But it was really cool. They had like Forever People #1, Secret Wars #8, the Wolverine miniseries. They had just a lot of books. I think for Spider-Woman, that Marvel Spotlight book, there were so many, and they just each took turns picking a book. So that was some cool videos I saw. So if you guys would like to leave a channel, preferably below 1,000 subscribers, but obviously we can do more if you guys want to. Let's start shouting out some smaller channels. But today's topic is going to be what happens when your Grail, your most desired book, is out of your price range. Because let's face it, even if you budgeted, put money aside, sold off part of your collection, a comic book gets to a point in time where you realize it's just paper, man. You can put that money into your education, maybe a house payment, a car payment, maybe a bill, savings, stocks, retirement, so many other things, a vacation, your kids. There's so many other things you can put money towards. Now we all have that threshold of, all right, if a comic book is less than this, I'll buy it. But when a comic book gets more than this, it starts to get uncomfortable. You talk to your friends, you talk to your family, you talk to yourself, like, should I really buy this? So, what are some of your options when your book hits that point where you're not sure if you really want to pay that money for it? My first recommendation is to always give up. Just don't even bother pursuing that book. Don't talk yourself into it. Don't come up with strategies. Just say, well, we gave it a good shot. There's always next year. But let's say that style is not for you. Here are some ideas. If you really want to collect for a character, but that first appearance or whatever is off the table. Today we'll be discussing 3 strategies that you can implement, and each one of these books kind of caters to each one of those strategies. I already have a part 2 planned for this. Also, my apologies if you hear my dogs or my kitties or any kind of background noise like that. It's just how life goes. And I'll be working on a part 2 because I already have about 2 or 3 more other ideas, but I want to keep these videos very short, very concise. You can hop in, see if there's any information you want to glean from this, and use it in your life. So the first 3 strategies we're going to be talking about. Let's start on the left. That is Daredevil 132. I bought that for $5 at Calhoun Con. That is the second appearance of Bullseye. So, the first appearance of Bullseye I found for $100 about 2 years ago, but I bought Deathstroke over it, the Teen Titans 2, first appearance of Deathstroke. And then I found a water-damaged copy of Daredevil 131 for $60. And I legitimately thought about it as first Bullseye, if you watch my top 10, is one of my most sought-after books. When you start talking about just the characters, I mean, that is Probably far and away the most infamous Daredevil villain. Some of you may say Kingpin, but that was a Spider-Man villain initially. So if you're talking about a villain who got his start in Daredevil comics, Bullseye kind of stands head and shoulders above, say, the Owl or any of his other villains. Stilt Man or Leapfrog. Bullseye is kind of in another class when it comes to Daredevil villains. However, that 131 still eludes me, as I just don't feel like throwing that much money at a water-damaged book, and a high-grade copy has really yet to present itself at a price point that I want to pay. But I got second appearance of Bullseye for $5. I will take that every day of the year, and that's just a good book to have. What can I say? All right, the one in the middle. That is Ghost Rider #1. As we all know, Ghost Rider made his start as a Western back in, the 50s? Maybe the 60s, but yeah, he was a cowboy back in the day. That was not Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze would not come along until 1976 or so in Marvel Spotlight #5. Well, as we've talked about in great lengths, that is my most sought after comic. Of course, rivaling things like AF-15 and books like that. But Ghost Rider 1, this is the first ongoing Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider. The reason I add that qualifier is, again, because Ghost Rider was in the Western. There probably already is a first ongoing Ghost Rider, but this is Johnny Blaze, first ongoing Johnny Blaze as Ghost Rider. He made his start in Marvel Spotlight 5 through 12, I believe, and then would get his own solo series. This book right here, excellent book if you just don't want to pony up for Ghost Rider or Marvel Spotlight #5. And the last topic we'll be talking about today is first cover appearance of Darkseid. I also believe that is the second appearance of Darkseid, but I could be wrong about the second full appearance of Darkseid. So if you can't grab the first appearance, maybe you'll get lucky and grab the first cover appearance. Now, we like to think that a character makes his first appearance and his first cover appearance all in the same book. That is not always the case. Hold on one second. I'll show you guys. So I don't have Superman pal Jimmy Olsen 134, the first cameo of Darkseid, but I do have, and sorry if this messes up the lighting, I do have Forever People #1. You guys can take a little old gander here. Gander yourself. Even though, it's not going to work, and I don't want to mess up my whole setting. Either way, you guys can see, Darkseid is nowhere to be seen on that book. You can see the Forever People, you can see Beautiful Dreamer, you can even see Superman. But you know who you don't see? Darkseid. And that's technically his first full appearance. In New Gods #2, he would go on to be featured on the cover. So guys, these are just 3 strategies if you could not afford first Bullseye, first Ghost Rider, or first Darkseid. These are excellent books to add to your collection. Now, do keep in mind that if the character is super popular, like, say, Ghost Rider, or maybe even Darkseid, these books are still going to be expensive. That Ghost Rider #1 is the most money I've ever spent on a single comic book, but it still pales in comparison of Marvel Spotlight 5 at the same condition. So these are just decisions you're going to have to make. How much are you willing to buy a book? What grade do you want that book? And does it just make more sense to maybe go for the second appearance, the first ongoing, or even the first cover appearance? And these are things to think about if you already have your Grail. If you already had Daredevil 131, first Bullseye, and you really love Bullseye, maybe you should look into adding Daredevil 132. Maybe you already have Marvel Spotlight 5. Maybe you already have the whole Marvel Spotlight run. Maybe you should look in to start collecting the Ghost Rider ongoing. And again, maybe you're a big fan of Darkseid and you have the first cameo, which, there's your teaser for part 2. We're going to be talking about cameos in part 2. I don't have a cameraman, so I'm very happy I noticed that I went to the 10-minute marker there. But again, maybe you have Superman Pals Jimmy Olsen's 134 and you have Forever People #1, but you really like Darkseid. Why not go ahead and try and pick up the first cover appearance? So this is kind of a twofold video. What to do when your Grail gets out of control or out of your price range, or you just can't find it. Maybe it's just too rare. Maybe you're a big fan of Golden Age books and you're just not going to find those books, or early Silver Age books, so you don't see them all the time. Or maybe you already have your Grails, but you still want to collect for the character. Well, these are just ideas for books to be on the lookout for. Now, I will say that I would like to do a follow-up video of this talking about really good second appearances where the first appearance is hundreds of dollars and then the second appearance is $5 or $10, because I have a lot of second appearances in my collection where I paid next to nothing compared to the first appearance. So that would be a fun video to do. If I can get a couple of more first ongoings, I would like to do that as well, like with Ghost Rider. And if I can find a couple of more characters where they didn't make their first cover appearance the same as their first appearance. I don't know a lot of characters off the top of my head, especially in my collection. But if I can round up a couple, I'll throw together a video for popular first cover appearances. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope there was something informational. I hope there was something you could take away from this to add to make your hunting easier. And hopefully you guys will look forward to part 2, where again, a little teaser, we're going to be talking about cameos, plus a couple of other ideas for collecting when your Grail gets out of control. And then again, recommend some affordable second appearances so I can be on the lookout for them, because that could even get a part 2. And that's kind of it. I'm kind of blabbering, recapping everything. I just hope you guys enjoyed this and found it informative. And again, leave a comment down below for a small channel. You know, the higher the quality and the smaller the subs are better candidates, so that we can shout them out and get their sub counts up. So again, be sure to check out all channels that we reference in any of our videos, because I love them all. They're all great for their own reasons. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.